This is episode 10.
Episode 10?
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We're going to dance.
You're going to dance. I'm not going to dance.
I think we should both dance.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey everyone, it's Jordan Powers, Mankato Home Tours, episode 10, very special episode. I'm here with my good buddy, Jeremy Kolars. Jeremy?
Hey. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So we have a very special episode today. It's episode 10. We're doing something a little bit different throughout the show. First thing I'm going to talk about is Prime Source Funding. I'm not going to be talking about Prime Source Funding in the middle of the episode, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about them right now. So as you know, they've been sponsoring this show for several weeks now, and you guys, this what I'm doing here is it's a lot of work, but Prime Source Funding, I've used them personally for my own homes to get 2 mortgages, and I've been working with them on some video projects, and you can go and check out their page and see their final video project that we worked on today. It talks about who they are and what they're doing for the community and how community focused they are. So check out their page today, look at the video. But on a personal level, like them, they're putting a lot to help support this show. And the owner, Greg, who he's just had a lot of faith in what we're doing here with Mankato Home Tours. And I say we because there's other people working on this as well. There's somebody behind the cameras right now, David. You can wave your hand if you want. Yeah, so David's behind the camera. David helps out a lot as well, but Prime Source Funding is really who's helping make this happen and bring these shows to you every week. So especially with this episode today, it's a very special episode. We really want to thank Prime Source Funding for being a supporter of the show and helping us bring this to the community. So thanks so much, you guys. Be sure to check them out. Links in the description. With that said, let's go ahead and get into today's show. So let's start off by talking about your background. So background, pretty general. Let's just go there. Anywhere you want to go.
What you mean, like how I got into real estate, or just
sure?
General?
We can even talk about what led up to that as well.
So let's see. I'm a father. I've got 2 little girls and a loving wife, Krista. And so real estate for me. Really, I guess the background, if we're starting there, I've really been in corporate America for the last 15, 20 years in some sort of leadership role one way or another. Most recently, of course, with Verizon, it's where we met. Mm-hmm. And actually, you got me into leadership. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't want to, and you're like, you need to do this because you'd be great at it. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
by the way.
Of course.
It's something I've always just loved. I love helping people and really just kind of leading people and just really understanding people, I guess, is the more important thing on figuring out what matters to them most, what really motivates people. Leadership at Verizon was something that gave me that option to do that. Towards the end, though, of course, and how I came into real estate was, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations with my health. Was diagnosed in 2001 with a disease called myelodysplastic syndrome. You don't have to look it up. It's okay. But basically, it's a bone marrow disease. So it was a pretty serious thing because I was, 21 years old, 22 years old. And I was out of work for about 2 years. And during that time, my wife, Krista, was amazing at supporting me and our community back in Arizona because I was living in Arizona at the time. Fast forward from there, when we moved here, I actually then realized that I didn't have that disease. It was a misdiagnosis. It was kind of masking. And I found out that I needed a liver transplant. So that was in 2005 or so. In 2008, my best friend, Baird Black, actually donated his liver to me. And, leading up to that, Jordan, I guess it's kind of the long and short of it. People have always been there to give back to me in a very humbling and amazing way.
In a selfless way. I mean, yeah.
In a very selfless way. And I've always had this innate sort of nature to want to help people as well, even though when I was going through those things. So, the leadership roles definitely provided that for me, but they were also kind of keeping me away from my family. Mm-hmm. And I did have a successful transplant, and then fast forward a couple of years later, we actually lost our first daughter to stillbirth at 40 weeks. And here again, this was in Mankato, and the community really just was right there for us to pick us back up. Mm-hmm. And so all these things kind of coming into culmination, from there, I know this is going to sound like a crazy story, but it is my story, and I'm proud of it. I got diagnosed with cancer, actually, and that's when I got my real estate license.
But good at time of day, right?
Yeah, I was working full time still at Verizon, and I realized I don't know what's going to happen here. I need to figure out a way to support my family a little bit more. My brother Andrew has been in the business as we know, for over 15 years. I know that.
Yeah, Andrew was on episode 1. If you guys haven't seen that, you can go back. They look very similar, so
You kind of look like a brother too, though.
We got the salt and pepper thing happening,
but I noticed that yours only came when you had your little girl. So I think it's just.
No, I've been gray since 28.
Oh, so, is it just for men?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Fair enough.
This is natural.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, so anyway, I a month after I was diagnosed with cancer, and I was I was up at Mayo Clinic during the chemo treatments. I'm all plugged in, and I'm studying my books, and I'm going to get my license to try to make a little bit of extra money. My health proceeded to get worse, but a month after, my wife's best friend was actually her life was taken by our friend, her husband. So the long and short of it, and a very long story, and I apologize, is a lot of big life events have happened for me. And throughout it all, people have always been there for me. And I saw real estate as a way to, get back and spend time with my family, make sure that I'm watching after my health. And I know this previous agents have mentioned, to be flexible, but really that's what I'm aiming to do, is to stay flexible enough and change people's lives in a really good way with real estate, because it's the biggest purchase that they can make,
Yeah, but there's something I've always admired about you is like you still keep, you at least seem to keep your head on straight with everything. Like a lot of people that go through this stuff just kind of give up on life.
Yeah. My motto is to let your faith be bigger than your fears. Or feed your faith instead of your fears, and your fears will starve to death. And it's really easier said than done, if I'm just being completely honest. But I am a man of faith, and I try to follow. Trusting that if I work hard and I look after what really matters, to advocate for people, that good things are going to turn out. And so far, it's really been true. And I've been blessed that people have looked after me. So this is a really easy way for me to really help them in the most important decision of their lives.
Yeah. So, as mentioned, this episode's gonna be a little different, if you hadn't noticed already, than most. Jeremy's got a pretty, interesting story. I mean, it's I just said it, but what always has stood out to me about you is just how much you seem to keep a level head on your shoulders, but also you do have a very generous spirit. And I've always known you to be somebody who's, you always have other people's best interests in mind, from, like real estate aside, just in general. So, so this episode, we're not gonna be talking about any houses in particular. Side note, he does have one available right now at 119?
No, 424 North 2nd Street.
But it's at price of 119.
Oh, yeah, 119.9.
Yeah, 119.9. Yeah. So if you want to check that listing out, go to jeremykolars.com or buyhomesmankato.com.
That's true.
Yep. All right, go check those out. You can see the listing. Aside from that, we're doing a different type of giveaway today. This isn't something that you are necessarily going to get that's tangible, but it's I don't know. I'll let you talk about it.
Sure. Okay. So I want, the fact that you're putting this on Facebook, and by the way, if I can toot your horn for a moment, I think everything you do is very brilliant. I think that the work that you put in, you obviously spend a lot of time, and I know that it takes you away from your family and your child as well. And I know how much that matters to you. So kudos for what you do.
Appreciate that.
But, I've said for a long time that Facebook is a forum that I feel like is not used in a way that, that it really could, to make a huge difference. So what I want to challenge everybody to do, anybody who's watching or has made it this far without falling asleep and hearing my story, I guess, is tying back to, what happened with my good friend Molly, my wife's very best friend. And there's an organization in town, of course, by the name of CADA, the Committee Against Domestic Abuse. And CADA has a fundraiser that's going to be happening on the 16th of November called Give to the Max. So what I wanted to do was just simply share the video. Share the video. We're going to put a link to CADA's Give to the Max site. And for every share that happens, I'm going to match it dollar for dollar up to $500. They're trying to raise $30,000 this year. And when I got into real estate, I thought, what can I do that really makes a difference in our community, kind of that's going to give back in the way that I've been giving back that's changed my life. So each year I'm going to choose a charity, and this year it was pretty obvious that CADA was going to be my charity, with everything we've gone through. So far they've raised $20. Now it's early because, technically you don't give usually until the 16th of November. Mm-hmm. But, $30,000 will fund victim needs, for an entire year.
Yeah.
And when you think about the real estate market and housing and what we do, there's emergency shelter for people. There's educational services. These are families. It's not just women, by the way. It's men, women, children. So, check out their Facebook page. Make sure to like their Facebook page. But please just share the video. Follow the link. If you give $5, which is the minimum donation, doing the math, and I know you talked about that you would be willing to match.
So in addition to Jeremy's $1 for every share, I'm going to also contribute $1 to every share up to $500. So potentially up to $1,000 just by you sharing. Again, this video, I know most videos that I put out are to, it's a marketing tool. We're using it to share first of all, allow you to meet the agents that are in this community, look at a house. And just for entertainment. But this is episode 10. It's a special episode. It's a special cause. So this is more of a campaign to help CADA in reality. So this isn't about getting my name or Jeremy's name out there. This is really, obviously we want this video to be shared because we want as many people as possible to hear Jeremy's story, and also hear why we're doing this for CADA. Especially nowadays, like in the times that we're living in, this is a huge need, especially in our community. So, I'll be matching $1 for every share, as well as Jeremy. So potentially up to $1,000 donated towards CADA. And then on the 16th, was it?
November 16th. So the link follow the link. It's going to give you a description of some of the things that the money goes towards to help. Obviously, last year in 2016 in our community, close to 3,000 people were helped, and potentially, of course, lives saved. Right. So the need is extreme, and it's a great way to give back to the community. So if you haven't done it already, even if you just like their Facebook page, they have a buy option on their Facebook page that'll take you to spots where you can just get, common things like soap and shampoo and things that they need. So, if I had to give a giveaway, I would say I'll add an extra $50 Cub gift card so that you can go and you can purchase some of these items that they need and get that experience, go and actually, meet the people that are running the facility, understand how it impacts lives. And I don't know.
That's a good call. So so we will do a giveaway, $50. I'll also contribute a $50 gift card. So we asked, obviously use it for whatever your needs are. But if you're in a position to use it to help out at CADA, why not? Or if you have another charity or somebody in need that you think would benefit from this. But so like, comment, and share. Every share $1 will contribute $1 each to up to $500 each. So a total of potentially $1,000. I know that might be a little confusing, but just I'll leave the details in the description. And and then it'll be a $50 gift card or $100 gift card on the line for Cub as well to get some groceries, potentially help out CADA or somebody else in need. So I don't know. This is great. This is inspiring. I hope somebody out there gets inspired by this and takes some kind of action, whether it's CADA or something else. But that's kind of one of my secondary goals with this is to do some kind of good in the community. I've always tried to do whatever I can to help with whatever's in my means. But I think this platform and the amount of people that are going to see this, this is just, it's kind of a no-brainer. So thanks for bringing the idea to the table.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you guys stick around next week for a brand new episode. In the meantime, check out Jeremy Kolars' Facebook page. It'll be linked up in the description. Make sure you follow along. And we'll see you next week for a brand new episode.